Thursday Night Impact had the sauce. Let's talk about it. Usually I want my wrestling show to start off with a wrestling match, and it didn't happen, but that's okay, because Scott D'Amore had to let Don Callis know he ain't dealing with no tomfoolery, and Kenny Omega better make the show or he gets stripped of his new Impact World Championship. So Scott brings the entire roster out to hear the news. We gonna need a new #1 contender to come at Kenny Omega. Here's how we gonna go about that. We're gonna have 6 matches. The winner of those 6 matches is gonna be in a 6-way match at Under Siege. Winner of that becomes the #1 contender for the Impact World Championship. And we're gonna start right now. The first match is gonna be Jake Something versus Chris Bay. So, we didn't have to wait long for a match, and this one was off to the races quick. Jake Something looks like a total beast, just straight power. Chris Bay, though, he is the ultimate in finesse. He keeps right up with him and keeps the match good. This match keeps going, it's really good, until Rajit grabs Jake Something's foot. This distracts Jake just long enough for Chris Bay to come up, grab the surprise roll up, hold him down, feet on the ropes, 1, 2, 3, Chris Bay wins it. Sauce. So then Don Callis, we see him backstage. He's got to get Kenny Omega to this show. That's when Sami Callihan shows up. My favorite guy right now in Impact. Don tries to, brush him off and go have a hardcore match. But Sami's like, nah, I got something to tell you. You won't know where, you won't know when, but I'm coming. Callihan, no. Sauce. Taylor Wilde is back after 10 years. She still looks incredible. Tennille Dashwood pops up along with Caleb with a K. Tennille Dashwood comes up, she's like, oh, I'm so glad you're back. You can now be my partner. And Taylor Wilde is like, nah. Moving right along, we get Sam Bill versus Big Cass. Sam Bill versus W. Morrissey. My bad. Well, W. Morrissey grabs the mic off gate and starts cutting a promo. The wrestling business is full of bad people, and he's one of them. Okay, W. Morrissey basically just annihilates this poor guy before beating him. But at least he didn't give him the package pile driver like Sammy did. Alright, knockouts match. Kimber Lee versus Taylor Wilde. This is gonna be good. Kimber brings it right off top, coming at her straight off the game, and beating her down. Taylor turns it around though, and is absolutely killing it in the ring. For some reason, Susan, puts her shoe in Taylor's face. I didn't get it. Rolls Kimber over, throws her in some crazy looking leg submission and taps her out. This was a good match. Rolls Kimber over, throws her in some crazy looking leg submission and taps her out. This was a good match. After that, Susan for some reason tried to attack Taylor, but Taylor's able to fight her off. And Tennille runs down and she nails Susan too, but Taylor's like, I didn't ask for no help. And Tennille does not care. She just wants to celebrate. I thought this whole thing was funny as all get out. Sauce. Next we hear from my man Scott D'Amore, and we find out that Kenny Omega still hasn't came to work tonight. Moose shows up, and he starts questioning Scott D'Amore about what's going on, and Scott didn't give him an answer he liked. Moose jerks up Scott D'Amore. Though, James Storm is coming by. He sees this, and the two ease up. And then James Storm says there's something hilarious about fighting and bringing a bag lunch, and then gives Moose 2 bagged lunches, and look, this stuff was hilarious. I loved it. Double sauce. Alright, so next we get Josh Alexander, the X Division champion, in a title defense against Ace Austin. It's a rematch from Rebellion. So next we get Josh Alexander, the X Division champion, in a title defense against Ace Austin. It's a rematch from Rebellion. The match is pretty damn good in my opinion. Josh Alexander is killing it with the solid wrestling. Ace Austin though is completely keeping up and hitting some awesome off-the-wall moves. Madman Fulton even tries to get a shot in when the ref ain't looking, but Josh can fight him off too. They go hard a little bit more, but Josh Alexander's able to tie Ace up and make him tap out and retain the title. Now we get Brian Myers versus Matt Cardona again, but it's part of the 6-match qualifier. Alright, so check it out. I'm not trying to put either one of these dudes down. I think they're both good, but I've seen this match already, and tonight's match was basically the same match. Next, Violent by Design cuts a pretty awesome promo. Eric Young has his own plans for the six-way match at Under Siege. Eric Young's whole redneck cult leader thing is just absolutely great. I love Violent by Design. Definitely sauce. Alright, so did anybody else notice that we had both a Ric Flair commercial during Impact, but it's followed directly by another commercial with John Cena? Damn it, Vince, I know what you're doing. We're back from commercial, and Kenny Omega still hasn't showed up yet, and it's getting close to quitting time. He needs to show on up. Alright, main event time. My man, Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards in the six-man qualifier match. This one is hit, and then hit harder. Each guy is definitely down to hurt the other one. Sami, all through this match, is brutal. He's just a monster. But each time, Eddie Edwards comes back at him just as hard as Sami came. At one point, though, it does degenerate into a straight slugfest. It looks like Sami's about to go for the package pile driver. But then Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers come down and interfere in the match. It looks like Sami's about to eat a V-trigger because the Good Brothers are holding him and Kenny's lining him up. And then Finjuice came out for the assist, but they got dispatched. Kenny Omega barely gets there on time, and then him and the Good Brothers leave everybody just a pile of bodies. Alright, so I know I might sound a little bitter because I had to see Sami look bad, but other than that, Impact tonight definitely was bringing the sauce. Really enjoyed that. Making the sauce is one of my favorite things to do. I'm Walt, the most gangster nerd on YouTube. If it ain't no problem, leave me a like and a subscribe, and I'll be seeing you soon enough.